what's up idols, it's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. For this video, I don't want to read too much into what was said, but I do think it was said for a reason. So recently, BTS went live as a septet, 7 people? And they went live on Weverse and they talked about things. Whilst having a conversation, Namjoon said something that is making headlines. I wish our company would show us a little more affection. And then he added, I wish they would embrace us more. Let 2026 be the year of BTS. Something really big is coming. Now, it's always a little tricky to talk about HYBE in any way that is even remotely critical because a lot of people do stan HYBE and Bang Si-hyuk. After all, he gave us BTS, which I am eternally grateful for. It's not the first time we heard someone at HYBE, an artist at HYBE, say they felt neglected or felt like they weren't receiving enough support. But when you expand a lot in a little bit of time, certain groups or projects or elements tend to be overlooked or not looked at as much. HYBE won't stop. You know, we just heard now they're going to be managing Tyla on more global projects. They're expanding into the States and South America, like well outside of Korea. And when you have so much under your belt, you can't look at everything. I do find it a little bit shocking that someone from BTS would feel like this because BTS made HYBE. That's where it all came from. They made Big Hit. Big Hit went on to make HYBE. But I'm just really curious how you guys feel about this because so far I've been seeing a lot of mixed feelings, mixed emotions. Some people say that they're worried about him because he's already talked about potentially disbanding. Like they moved past that as of now. But Namjoon did say at one point they considered disbandment because he was ready to move on to something more. There was a lot of anxiety, he was anxious, but he did say their love and affection for each other and the fans decided to make them stay together. The reason I in particular worry about this is because, you know, he's been honest about what military did to him. You know, insomnia and sleepless nights, anxiety, and in a country like South Korea where unalivings are statistically high, it's cause for concern. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Namjoon said something like, I'm sick of 2025, I could die. He said, I'm going crazy because I just want to come back really quickly. I can't say how much has been prepared, but when is the company going to announce the comeback date? I wish HYBE would make the announcement sooner. I've thought tens of thousands of times about whether disbanding or taking a break would be better. But the reasons we're continuing as a group is because of the love between the members and our love and respect for our fans. So yeah, he's made a lot of worrying remarks live doing Weverse, talking with fans. You can imagine it's a lot of anxiety when you're the biggest K-pop group on the planet, right? And though there were big groups like Big Bang, SNSD, Super Junior, who got the name out there initially, many would argue that BTS really put that global stamp of K-pop on the world. So you can imagine after not performing as a group since what? October 2022, and now you're all out of military, all 7 back together. People are anxiously waiting for new music. What's next? It better be good. There's a lot of pressure. So to have all of that while your company isn't really telling you when you'll be able to come back, when you will have your new music, and give that answer to fans, I can imagine it would make you worry and feel helpless in that situation. I believe we've only heard around March of 2026. And HYBE has been going through a lot lately. Last year in particular with the whole Min Hae-jin, New Jeans drama. This year he's been under investigation, fraud allegations, assets froze, like he's been investigated. And while, again, like talking about this sort of thing is tricky because a lot of people stan HYBE, they stan Bang because they stan BTS. And a lot of people say they're coming for him because they want to come for BTS. My only thing is if they wanted to come for BTS, they would. I don't know who they is. Like I keep asking like, what do you mean? Like who is they? But if they really wanted to come for BTS, they would just come for BTS. They would have these rumors and allegations against BTS, not Bang. I don't want to read too much into any allegation, but I do think every allegation should be investigated properly. If you're proven innocent, you're proven innocent. If you're proven guilty, we got to deal with that. Namjoon also said, I wanted to be active again after being discharged from the military. There were reasons we didn't carry out activities in the second half, but I don't have the authority to speak on all of them. Like I said, I'm very curious how you guys feel about this. What do you think about his words? What the company is doing? Are you worried? Is it nothing? Let me know in the comments below. My personal take is I can imagine as the leader of the group, he's voicing a lot of frustrations. Maybe they are only his personal ones. Maybe other members have come to him and also said similar things like, when can we get back out there? The fans are waiting. You know, we've been out for months now and there's no official date. We're just training, practicing, nothing official yet. And with everything constantly evolving, you know, you worry about becoming irrelevant because, oh, we haven't heard from you in 3 years, you know? A lot of people thought as soon as they came out, we'd have something. So to hear In June, they're out, they're all free, but we gotta wait till March the next year. People were kind of upset. I can imagine that takes its toll. Personally, I feel like HYBE is getting too big to manage properly. I think it's hard to manage all the groups, all the artists efficiently, effectively, and equally. Obviously, every company wants to be successful. You start a company to make money, to provide a service. But I do think it gets to the point where it just starts to become greedy. Endless expansion while not properly managing what you already have. So it doesn't surprise me that some groups under HYBE might feel neglected. There's a lot of girl groups who felt that way because for a while, Bang said that he doesn't want female artists at his company after what happened with Glam. And until they acquired G-Friend and Fromis_9 and then later established LE SSERAFIM and NewJeans and Islet, there were only men, only males that worked at the company. People like Fromis_9 weren't getting a lot of comebacks and people were vocaling the frustration with them there. Same with G-Friend. People were like, when are we gonna get new music from G-Friend? And it got to the point where once their contracts had expired, they all just chose to leave HYBE. And we all know NewJeans also said they felt neglected, they didn't feel supported. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. So I'm not surprised that these allegations are coming for HYBE or whatever, but to hear it from BTS is the most shocking because they are literally the biggest group that they have, HYBE has to manage. So yeah, that's my take. I hope they address how he feels and give them a little bit more certainty for what's next and when they can expect to be in front of their fans again. Like even some of my closest friends are talking about preparing their kidney for harvest so they can afford a BTS concert ticket. And I believe they all renewed their contracts in 2023, so they'll probably be with HYBE at least through to 2030. I don't know if every contract is automatically 7 years, I just know that's the max. I mean, in that live, even Jimin said this period of time is the most agonizing. So I don't think it's only how RM feels, I think he's heard it from some other members too. I just feel like unless you're in the room with both parties, you can't really say one thing's true or not when it comes to feelings. You know, everyone's feelings are their own. So like, I do remember when all the NewJeans stuff broke out last year, people were saying, NewJeans isn't neglected, they're lying. They've always been supported. It's like, you're not them, so you don't really know. Like, it's a weird thing to say you know about something you weren't there for. So I won't say Namjoon's lying, they get all the support in the world. NewJeans is lying, they get all the support in the world. That's how they feel. I can't say that's true or false. Support is subjective, it's emotional. There's no right or wrong way to feel, you know? So yeah, I don't want this video to be too long. I just saw this and wanted to talk about it, and I'm very curious how you guys feel. Like I said, a lot of people are standing HYBE and Bang. They're like, he did nothing wrong. I don't know what they're talking about. You guys are making this bigger than it needs to be. But on the other hand, you have people who are genuinely worried about Namjoon because all year since he's been discharged, he's vocalized his struggles openly, which I'm grateful for because you hate when stuff takes a turn and it's like, oh my God, it came out of nowhere. There were no signs. He seems to be really honest with how he's been feeling. So I applaud that. Also, I want to say real quick, my boyfriend just came back. We've been reunited at last. And if you're a patron, be on the lookout for some holiday themed vlogs with us. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong.